Let's make something treasured with a load of junk. Hello and welcome to the Treasured page. I'm Melanie and this is our quiet crafting space. So we've seen masterboards. This is master paper and it is see-through. Well, I'm turning on the camera on a very auspicious occasion here at the Treasured page. I am in fact tidying up, clearing up and moving. I am moving to a new crafting room. So the room that I've been in for the last 4 years is no longer going to be where I operate from. I'm just going to show you how I'm tackling all of this because these are the scraps that I'm clearing up and I don't want to move them to the new craft room. And I'm going to make one final project here and then I shall be going upstairs. And the next video will be from my new location. So let's just settle into a little project here. I've got what I can find. I've packed away so much. I've got a paintbrush and I've got some glue here. I've got some stick glue. And the only other thing that I've sort of left myself, all my paper has gone upstairs already, is I've got a sheet of tracing paper. We've seen snippet rolls, we've seen masterboards, but what I want to do is a scrappy collage, and this is going to be like master paper, let's say. So I don't want it too thick, I don't want it too thin, I just want a nice new material of scrappy collage. That's the aim. So I'm going to be using up all this old rubbish. Look at it, it's all, well, it's not, is it? It's treasure, but to the untrained eye, it is junk and rubbish. So what I think the best thing to do here is, while I just tell you what I'm up to, I will be sorting and crafting. And that is really so that I can slow down, calm down, and just, take stock of the anxiety-inducing situation that I'm in, which is packing up my craft room, my happy place, my quiet crafting space, the place where I come to talk to you, to share and to create. And it's a task that I've been putting off for so long because I knew that it was going to be difficult. And I think the lesson there is that things are difficult, but progress requires some effort and some bravery. So I am trying to be brave. And I'm also trying to be practical. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm going to have a pile of neutrals and plains fabric that I'm sorting out and organising, which is just a lovely task. If you've got a bunch of stuff, it's just really nice to grab a bundle. If you ever just want to get your mojo back, or if you want to just calm down, just to play with your papers, play with your scrap papers and just start sorting them out. It's a surefire way to just get the creativity flowing again. So my creativity hasn't stopped flowing. I'm just in panic mode, I think, for the move. And I thought, oh, this is ridiculous. I'm just going to sit down and make something one last time, because I whatever it is, whatever comes out of this craft session, it's going to be treasured and special because I shall remember it as the last thing I made in this room. And this room has been incredibly supportive for me, but I think it's not really the room, it's not really the location, it is the space that I create. So the reason for this move is, in my infinite wisdom, I've decided to let my son come and move into this room, and I will be moving into his room. Now, his room is considerably smaller than this room. And I think when you collect a lot of crafting items and a lot of crafting stuff, we always feel, oh, I just need a bigger space. I've got so much stuff, I just need a bigger space. And actually, I think we need some really good storage space, not necessarily a bigger space. So the bigger space actually offers more of a problem because you fill it. So whatever space you're in, you fill it. And when you're in a smaller space, you're more mindful of what you're bringing in. And that's what I want to be. I don't want to be overwhelmed by stuff. And I have been. and it's been really nice to get it all out box by box, looking at it and putting it in a place where I think it should be, and then being a bit discerning about what I take to that new room. So it's been a really good exercise for me, but it's taken me a year to get to this point where I felt like I could even do it. I am just going to be using my collage glue, but I would normally be using, well, I suppose I could use a stick glue, but I just think it'd be quicker to paste it down with a wet glue. So I'm going to use my Collage medium, and I'm putting that over the top of the tracing paper, and then I'm just going to piece down the scraps as I see fit. And I just thought it would be quite fun doing it on the tracing paper because we can see through to the other side. So if I also add in some fun pieces as I go, there may be a peep through on the reverse. So like this, I could put the lady's face down that way, and then we might see her on the other side. Tear it out a bit better so we can see a bit more around it. So yeah, this is just the idea, little idea here where I can paste down the image. Now when you start gluing down onto tracing paper, you do end up with it moving and curling, so it's not a reason not to do it. It's a reason to sort of run towards it and see what happens. So what I don't want is anything too boring. I want to have little things like that are also peeping through that I might find, but I'll maybe leave that to the end. Like little things like that, little words, maybe that'll be nice, because that's nice both ways. Right, so yes, I am moving, and that is a funny old feeling, I can tell you, because this has been my quiet crafting space for quite some time. So let's just see, can we actually see that? Oh yeah, that works. Okay, so we're doing a reverse collage. This is interesting. All right, let's try that, reverse collage, see what happens. I can't see what's going on. So we'll put down some nice things here. So a lot of this stuff I've just been finding, things that have been all over the place, just tucked down the side of somewhere. Some things were on the floor, just clearing up, and I thought it would be really fun to just paste it down and get a little collage going of all the stuff, just tidying up. There's some bits that I think look really nice on other projects, so I won't do that necessarily. But this first layer going down, if it's got something on the other side, it will peep through. So not sure what we'll get, but it's just a last minute play before I have to pack all the recording equipment and start working out how to piece it up together. And the worrying bit here, the bit that I'm a little bit concerned about, is that I've got to take the table out of here. Now the table that I'm using is an old pine farmhouse table, and it was brought in this room by sheer willpower because it's too big to fit through the doorway, and so it got stuck halfway through. This is 7 years ago. Very funny and you know, a real fun story with among my family. But now I've got to do this and I've got to get it out. And the thing was, when I first got it stuck in the doorway, you can see the photo here. I am a little bit older than that now, but when I first brought it in, I was on my own and the family had gone out, and I'd of course decided to do this project because it needed to be done now, and didn't wait and just did it. And I had to take the door off of the frame and try and get this table in. Oh, such a nightmare. And then by some magic, it just sort of launched itself through the door, and it seemed to be undamaged, but it did creak a bit after that. So I've had to be a bit careful with it ever since. And so I'm terrified if I try and push it and pull it through the doorway again, I'm going to lose my table. And this is my quiet space. This is it. It's the table. It's sitting here and just playing with paper. This is it. So without that, I shall be a bit lost. Of course, there are tables, other tables, but when you've known this one for so long, and it's special to me because it was something that was in my family, and we used to eat off of it as a our main table, and also used to do my homework on it growing up. Yeah, it's special, so I'm a little concerned. And so the conclusion I've come to at the moment is that I'm going to take a little bit of height off of the table by sawing, by sawing the legs off. Not all of the legs, just like an inch off of the legs. Don't know if I can do it. What's gone on is that the family have gone out. They've gone camping and I'm left with this situation, and I've got to get the setup all sorted so that I can do my videos. And so the pressure's on. So I just thought, just come and make something. Calm down. You're all right. You can saw off a bit of wood if necessary. So yes, this is where I'm at. Slightly worrying, but very much excited to go and have a dedicated new space, one that will have all the things to hand, and we will have to see how that works out. Now, what's nice about this is you don't have to use the scissors at all. You can just tear it. You could use your ruler. If you've got a metal ruler, you could do that. It's just lovely to be able to just do this and really not have to think about anything other than just pasting and sticking down something that will cover up what I'm trying to cover up, really. It's going to be a bit of a reveal and a surprise at the end, which I think is quite a nice little thing. So I'm sure there'll be a time in the future when I get this room back again, when my son decides that he wants to move on with his life and leave home. However, I just want to support him with his studies and just one final push on the old parenthood. See if we can get him through college and beyond. But yes, I think the time has come for me to move on. And so that's what's happening. Now, the other thing is that I have always thought that a bigger room is best, that I would be able to fit more things in the bigger room, and that's just the way to go. But I found I've been quite overwhelmed by my space and my stuff. I think particularly with the junk journaling as a hobby, there are lots of different papers. I just need to get that right. So leave a comment below how you feel about your crafting area, because I often feel that it's something that I'm quite embarrassed about, the fact that there is sort of scraps and stuff, mess everywhere. And I think having a room where we also have a dual purpose in this room, it's supposed to be a guest room, that's also been a little bit of a sticking point. Oh gosh, I don't know that I want everybody seeing all the papers, all the things. So yeah, just leave a comment. How do you feel about your space? Are you on top of it? Have you got really good organisation systems in place? Is it all over the shop? What is your experience of junk journaling, and how do you contain your things? So I'm trying to learn how to do that. I think I'm doing really well. I've got quite a lot of tidy boxes and bins now. I'm trying to get a system in place so that I know where to find vintage papers from scrapbooking papers. And I think because there's quite a large category of papers to discover within the hobby, that we can just hoard so many different types of papers and scraps, and also it's quite lovely to have a little exercise like this. Just one sheet does use up quite a lot. Okay, so I've pretty much got the first layer on, and I've concentrated on facing down some of the images so that when I flip it around or have a background, I have got something to look at, not just plain paper. So now this is the next layer that I'm doing here. So I'm just now going to start putting on more glue and just start focusing in on bringing in some other details that I've got here, some book page here, but I shall now be orientating it this way up so we can see what we're doing again. Just a bit of a fun idea to have a play around with, and just putting down some of this book page here, and I've got something talking about a robin, but the paper feels quite nice, so just add in these details here. And where I've got some scrapbooking paper here, I'm just going to tear bits off so that I can run that pattern throughout this collage, so we can start to identify it at different points within this piece. So now from this stash I'm removing anything too plain. We've got lined paper which we can have, a little bit of detail there, but otherwise these are just plain background papers and there's nothing on them, so they're not offering anything of interest apart from maybe that with the words. So I'm taking those out of it. They can become something else another day. Okay, so for the second layer I'm just looking for more detailed pieces here, just bringing in some wording, just the birds there, that's nice. I've got some decorative coffee stained paper with some ink splats on it, so just bringing that in. And there we go, just run some detail on the edge there. I found this gold paper, so we're just going to put that in as well. I'm trying to avoid card, I'm just looking for paper, so if I've got a thicker paper I don't really want it. I just want the thin papers are the better ones here. As I'm coming across more fun or interesting scraps, things that I can see I can make clusters out of, nicer pieces of paper, that sort of thing. Maybe it's thicker, maybe there's a different texture on it. I'm considering them for this collage, but something like that, it's a piece of card and there's some fabric and stiffer bits of card there. This is all right, let's have a little bit of blue napkin. That's always a fun find because it's nice and fine. So we just paste that in. And lots of little bits of fabric, all great for putting final details on projects. Okay, I am very pleased to finally be putting this somewhere because it has been in the craft tray for months. So that's nice that that's going down now. Just pasting that in, finding some extra details, just adding them here and there. So start bringing in some blue. Maybe I want the rose down here. I'm going to paste down this seahorse because he's looking like he might look nice up there, although he had a bit of a blob on him, so I think I'll put a label or something across there in a minute. And adding that down there. Got to be a bit careful because some of it is digital kit. Alright, I am collecting up my little plain paper scraps. I'm covered in glue, so just keeping those out of it for now. So I'm just getting down to the little pieces now, so I can just sort of paste on things, like there's a little old-fashioned, interesting bits that they can come in on the top. Little label, put that down there. I'm going to put that across my seahorse and hide that blob. So now I'm wanting to create a little bit more detail without there being big expanses of space. There's nothing there, so I would be looking to put something there, I think. So I'm just now bringing in anything. This is just some coffee paper, but where I've got this white strip along the top, I'm just going to put that up there because that's more pleasing to look at than nothing. So I'll just take away that sharp edge. Don't think there's anything on it. That is a bit of fabric going down there, but it's so thin that it works. So just have a look and see what you've got. Create this lovely paper that you can have out of tissue paper, maybe tissue paper. If you've got the tissue paper that withstands the wet, then that would work really nicely. Just something really thin, and just have a go and see. Pasting down all the little scraps, start bringing in anything that looks a little interesting. So I've got a little shop label there, put that in, an old vintage one. Okay, so I've got it to a point now where I'm quite happy. I'm going to let that layering dry, and then I can see what I want to do with it, whether I'm cutting it up into journaling cards or whether it's going to become something else. We'll just see what we can come up with once it's dried. And actually thinking I might just like to add in that. So we'll just cut this out because I've packed away all the punches. They've gone upstairs all ready for me. Just paste that down because it was all about the treasured page moving today. So I thought we'd better have a little symbol of our butterfly going down there. So if you wanted to have a go at making some flexible paper using up your scraps and clearing up as you go, nice little neat pile there I can manage with now. Okay, I'm back and it has dried. It's later in the evening. I apologise for the shadowing going on here. We are going to be having some new lighting in the new room. I'm very excited. In fact, that's what sparked off this entire move, was getting some new lighting. So I'm going to set that up and I'll show you in the next video. We'll see how that works out. Let's hope it does. And in the meantime, this is really fun. So this was the front, but if we have a look over on the back, we've got a second 2-for-1 image here with some collaging going on the back, and it's slightly muted by the translucency of the tracing paper, so much so that it could be writing space potentially, but you could draw over that. That would be no problem at all. It's a lovely matte feel there to the paper. So I'm just going all the way around, neatening off the edges. Okay, fortunately I haven't packed my ink away, so I'm just going to go round the edges. Perhaps it would have been more fun to have brought in a blue colour or a different colour, but let's just do that to stress the edges a little bit, like this. And then I'll just go over and age anything I feel just want to knock back a little bit, leaving my seahorse there. Right, I've packed away a lot of my stamps, but I have got this one which looks a bit like an old vintage receipt, so I thought I could have a go at putting that over in places where there's not so much detail. I'm washing all my silicone blocks, so I haven't even got those. So we're just operating with the basics here. And here we have it. So it's a master board, but it's not board, it's paper. It's really soft and pliable, flexible, and just interesting new material. So it could be journaling cards, but they're not really cards. So what I'm thinking for this is to fold it up and make myself a little pouch. Okay, I'm just putting a little bit up here on the other side as well, and it brings in a bit of extra detail to some of the plainer parts where we've got the white edging, so we'll just sort of add a bit of texture in here and there. Just bring in a bit, oh yeah, that's nice. Let's have this over here, and we'll just put one on the birds because we're not really sure. Like that, that's quite good. And then we'll have another one up here, but a different angle. All right, lovely. Put the flower in. Oh gosh, this is really fun. I'm really pleased that I decided to sit down and do this on my sort of last little crafting session here in this room. I'm just using some permanent ink here. This is just archival ink and just some little stamping. So I've got a space up there, and this is a nice little flower stamp there. And then we'll have one over here as well. Very good. Just some cute little detail coming in. And then I think this one is quite nice to have the berries. So let's see if I can get berries there. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, corner rounder would look nice, but I haven't got one. What else have I got? Just noticed this. This is a corner punch. See what this does. Okay. So just having a play around here now, just seeing what I can do. Corner punching out decorative lace detail. That one went in better, so I didn't get it quite right on that side. Okay, the corner rounder has been packed, so I'm just going to take the scissors and just round it off myself. I feel like it might start fraying up a little bit, so we'll take away those pieces. Okay, and now I have this. So this is orientated upside down. I'm folding it in so that I get my focal point, which is the seahorse, coming right way around. Okay, so I'm gluing on both sides all the way up to where I want my opening to be. Okay, we've still got a clip. I am going to have to clip this. So let's just work with what we've got. Just paper clip that on. And, well, I'll hold it. Now, I've just been digging around, and this was a project a while ago where I made some buttons just by punching out some circles of scrapbooking paper, and then on the inside I think we might find, yes, just some packaging. So that was an old cereal box. So these are just 1-inch circle punches, just gluing them on and then making buttons by punching them out. But that was double thickness, so I needed 2 of those. There's another one there. And stick those together and then back them. So it's a layered sandwich look. So got it like that. They all glue together like a layer. And that becomes quite a sturdy button, really strong. Now I've got this one already done. This one's blue, so that's perfect. I think that's going to tie in with the colours here. And then I've got this one, which has got the postage mark cut out of modern day packaging. And that's got a little bit of blue stamp there as well. So I'm going to add that. Punch that out. And the same for this one. Okay, great. Okay, I'm just punching a hole, and I've got some split pins here, so I'm just going to put that in. Okay, looking good. Right, taking the clips off, I've got a sort of a policy closure there. It's a bit wonky, but then I wanted to miss the seahorse. I'm going to have a look here and see if there's anything that's like a string. See what we've got in amongst the scraps of fabric here. I've got a bit of lace. Oh, there's a bit. Oh, we might be able to get away with that. Okay, this could work. Yes, this will work. All right, good. Let's just put that in, capture that in. Okay. Get that tied on. Like that. around. Great. Perfect. And then this can come under here like that. Not the best. I'll probably find something a bit better than that, but it's just a bit of junk. Ooh, I like this idea. I've got a little bit of this Tim Holtz tape. It's a canvas tape that you can get. I'm just going to put a bit like that and then wrap that round. That's just going to strengthen my sides where I'm not sewing, because I've taken away and packed away the sewing machine momentarily. All right, and then I'll just do it on a similar side there. That's fine. Yeah, a little bit of lace because there's not a lot going on up there. And then of course you can add little bits of lace trim along there, and just you can carry on decorating it to your heart's content. What a fun little project. This is great. So it's just a little policy closure forming here. Really wanted some different length of yarn or string just to make that work. That's a little bit tricky, but you get the general idea. So that's the closure there, just a bit of fun, and just an eclectic mix of whatever scraps are lying around. Some fun stamping to give us some focal points. That was just a stamp by Tim Holtz, part of his Stampers Anonymous Sea Life, so that was what that was. And my little butterfly up there with the logo. So there we go, little pieces and detail, and finally putting that vine somewhere. So I hope that you've enjoyed having a little look at this and seeing how you can create something from nothing. And if you've enjoyed watching this fun little put together of how you can have something super straightforward to keep your scraps all nicely contained, and then anything that you want, any labels or some stamping embellishments, put your stickers in it, anything, you know, this is really fun. I'm going to go and have this upstairs, and I will now be able to find all these little bits that I was wanting to put somewhere, but I just don't have the time right now. So that's something that I was working on. Those are some ring enforcements, you know, all the little bits that float around. You've now got somewhere to tuck them and have them for a rainy day. So really good fun, love that, keep that all secure. Look for a slightly better closure, but honestly that has kept it all together, and that is super thin, could go in a journal. That feels lovely because I used the matte gel, and it's waterproofed it as well. So great little giveaway, gift, happy mail, fun little delivery system there with all the scraps in there. Fabulous. So I hope that that was a nice little idea for you just to take forward for my final video in this craft room. And for the next video you can tune in for the first of the month prompt. One way or another I will cobble together a video for you, and hopefully my desk will be able to go upstairs. I've got to get it through 2 doorways, and I do think it is going to involve shortening the legs because I'm not sure it's going to fit in the room upstairs through the doorway. So wish me luck. I will take you along for that journey in the next video, and we will see how I'm going to set up my new quiet crafting space, and I will show you the full tour of the new craft room very shortly. So stay tuned, do subscribe to the channel, and I will be back very soon with my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Do give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Click subscribe if you'd like to follow along for more tutorials, information, and just watching my journey here as I figure out the junk journaling joy and take you along for the ride. But above everything else, guys, just slow down and make crafting time for you. Bye bye now.